Here's the story of 6 buying experts who were very successful in their jobs, leading procurement offices across the country, from Alaska and PA to Arkansas.
Judy, in higher education, I understand they've been shifting to more remote working environment for some time now. And so this won't be new to them if they have to stay working from home and they have to stay working remotely, which sounds like that might be the case. So what are some lessons that maybe government could learn from education as they transition to this new work environment?
Great. Thanks, Mike. I'm listening to this conversation, and it's very similar in higher ed, really, the challenges. And I think it really depends on size of school. Many of them embraced eProcurement years ago, and so that part isn't new. But remote working is rather new to higher ed. When I talk to folks out in the field when we go out and visit, a lot of them are just now starting to implement this notion of remote work. And it's really dependent on level of person. And unfortunately, I think the higher level people have been given that autonomy a lot earlier than some of the lower level staff. But what I'm seeing them do, and what I think is really important, is to outfit everybody to be able to work remotely. And they're doing that by establishing docking stations and laptops in lieu of the traditional desktop. And so people don't have that big computer sitting on their desk with a screen. They might have a screen and a keyboard that they can attach to a docking station, but everybody has the ability to take their laptop home and work. I spoke with somebody last week who said whenever they outfitted all the AP people to go home and start working, their productivity soared. And it wasn't that the volume was down yet. It was that they had some ability to control their work environment a little differently. And so they've seen a lot of success with it. And so I guess the lesson really is that this is not just for those that are at a higher level, that if you really empower people to do work at home in a way that they can be effective, you might find that they're actually more effective than they are at work. There's less distraction. They might get things done more quickly. So I think that's primary lesson learned, is to give everybody access to tools, and let's see how they do. Like, don't just think that you need to be, as Jason Souza said in the beginning, standing over their cube and watching them, because we're not.
Yeah. Some people that are working from home, you're right, Judy, you can be as productive, in some ways more productive, working from home. And all of us here now work from home, and all of us used to work in an office, right? And I will tell you, in my case, I worked in an office for 23 plus years. And so at first it was an adjustment working from home in a lot of ways. And I think we can all agree to that. If you're not used to it, it's an adjustment working from home. But after you get used to it, you can be very productive, and you set your own routine and schedule, and you can get a lot done by working remotely. And I think a lot of people will figure that out. And you're right. Once you get all the tools there that you need, and you get everything set up, that you can be very productive.
Yeah, I should add, one lesson learned very recently was that in order to get office supplies delivered to people's homes, there was this notion of having to add all these new delivery locations in eProcurement applications. And traditionally, it was a no-no, right? Only ship onto campus. You cannot ship anywhere else. And now they had to make this whole paradigm shift that, oh, by the way, it's okay, office supplier, to deliver this stuff to these people's home addresses because they need it to work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That I can see that being part of the future.